Hey guys, it is Tuesday, October 15th, 2024, and I'm back with some free VST plugins to help you with your musical adventures and endeavors. All right, guys, we are continuing the month of October 2024, themed with free saturation plugins and creative effect plugins. Creative effect plugins. And also, we're going to touch on two instrument VSTs after all of that, as usual. So we're halfway through the month, so let's just jump right into it. So the free VST plugins for today are as follows. First up here, we have GSAT Plus from TB Pro Audio. This one is fully featured, very full featured. We have 2x oversampling. The interface is pretty modern, updated, clean, nice, user-friendly interface, very inviting. So because they're keeping up with it being modern and updated, they have VST3, it is resizable, and all the advantages that comes with. So we have VU meters up here. We have an input section where you have a lot of options with the input and the calibration, dealing with how the VU meter is reading your input. Over here we have the stereo section, left, right, mid, side. And then there's a mix knob here, and then there's an output. So we have input over here, output over here. Knobs that you can use to do your gain matching and your gain staging, controlling the levels going in and coming out as you're saturating. So over here in the saturation section, we have the character stages. They have 5. You can choose the character here, and then also fluctuation. Very detailed, a lot of features to dial in, some unique saturation characteristics. Then over here we have 0 to 100% on both odd and even harmonic dials. So you can dial in your odd and even harmonics to make it sound more like a tape or more like a tube, or you can mix a little bit of both. Over here we have a clipping section. So we have the clip to turn that on, and then there's a ceiling which basically acts like a threshold based on how much you want to clip and smash your signal, or if you just want to gently clip some peaks. Then over here we have oversampling 2x, 4x, and then there's a big red bypass button right here. So we have presets. I think I have the plugin actually open here. I do. Give me a sec. Yeah, so they have presets here. Decent amount, not a lot, but something to get you started if you're looking to check it out. Like I said, the interface is resizable, which is great for high resolution monitors, 2K, 2.5K, 4K monitors. So that's it for GSAT Plus from TB Audio Pro. Next up, we have Tube Saturator Vintage from Wave Arts. So this one's been around for a while. They've still been updating it. The trick with this one, if you want the VST3 version, then it's paid. But like the VST2 version is free. So I'm assuming with the VST3, the interface is resizable. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same plugin. We have presets here. I'm not sure if this tube animates to kind of show you how much it's saturating. But the cool thing about this one is we have the drive, and then there's an EQ section. So that's pretty much it. It's a tube saturator with an EQ, so you can kind of dial in a tone as you're saturating. It gives a very nice, warm, fuzzy sound, depending on how much you crank it, and the fact that you have output gain. You can control your output gain. You can drive the gain a certain way going in, and then you can pull back with the output and, you know, dial it to taste. They have fat mode, which changes kind of how it saturates, and then you could turn the EQ on and off. But I feel like this one is very useful just for the fact that they have the EQ, so you can dial in the tone of the saturation depending on what you're trying to do creatively. You can go subtle with this one, or you can go very drastic. So definitely check that one out. Next up here, we have creative effect number 1. Is called Filter Step from Audio Modern. So this one, pretty much like it says, it is filters in a step sequencer. It's pretty much what it is. It is very versatile, very detailed, because each one of these slots, you can set up how many slots you have as far as for the steps, the step sequencer, how many slots you want. And then you can dial in the division speed. And then you can then draw in where you want the filters to be. And based on how tall you draw these bars or how short you make them, it changes how the filter sounds, how much the filter is affecting the sound. If it's all the way down empty, then that slot will be totally off, which will give you kind of a choppy effect. And then you can choose over here if you're using a high pass, a low pass, or a band pass filter. Over here we have a dice feature where you can randomize, and there's some other settings here that you can tweak to kind of just dial in some quick random settings or some random patterns depending on certain parameters that you kind of tweak to say how heavy you want it to do this, how much you want it to do these different parameters, and then you hit the generate button and it kind of generates based on those presets that you set, those parameters I should say that you set, how much you want it to go in with the filter, sound, or how much filter, and it'll kind of dial in some options for you. So this one's pretty versatile, pretty modern. So I'm sure there's a VST3, has dry wet knob. They have presets already there, 32-bit, 64-bit, all that good stuff. So pretty versatile, resizable interface, all that good stuff. So next up here we have GateLab from the same developer, Audio Modern, and similar to the last one, this is gating set to a sequencer, to a step sequencer. So you can gate 100% and everything in between. You can have the gate totally off and you'll hear nothing. So this one's going to give you a lot more of choppy effects, cutting in and out the audio, and just like the last one, you can set your grid. There's 2 grids, so you can set how many divisions within the grid. Then you can set the playback speed of that if you wanted to play back at quarter note, half notes, all that good stuff. And then you can dial in which slots in the step sequencer is active and how much it is, if it's 100%, 50%, anything in between, on, off. And just like the last one, you have these randomized features where you can go in, set a couple of criterias, and then set it to give you some random setting based on the criteria that you set. And of course, there are presets. Just like the last one, you know, same offerings, VST3, there's a standalone version, wet dry knob, resizable interface, all that good stuff. 64-bit compatible. So that's GateLab and Filter Step from Audio Modern. So for instruments today, first up we have Modular Drum Fusion. So this one, for face value, on the face value, just looks like a drum machine, but the unique thing about this one is all the drum sounds are synth modulated sounds, so they're not samples. So I guess that's what makes it interesting. So it gives you an extra option because there's some modulation features that can happen while the sounds are being triggered. Makes it kind of unique. And I'm figuring that makes it a little bit lighter as far as size-wise with the download and install, because it's not using samples. It's literally generating each sound through synthesis. But just like any drum machine, you know, you have your slots here, and every slot can be routed out to your DAW. So it has multi-output. So you can multi-track basically the whole drum machine. 2 separate tracks on your mixer in your DAW for more control of the sound and mixing. There's a high pass, low pass filter, multi LFO, and they have 10 drum kit presets already in there. So check out Modular Drum Fusion. Last up for today, we have Love-Fi 4 Lite. So this one, as it implies, is a lo-fi style, kind of like a keyboard instrument, keyboard rompler of sorts. This one comes with a certain amount. How many presets are here? How many? I'm not sure. But I know they have pads, keys, bass, and it also has drums. If you notice, they have drum pads here. Kick. They have snare, clap, hi-hat, close hat, all that good stuff. So there's some drums in here along with keyboard sounds, but it'll definitely have that lo-fi vibe. They have built-in distortion, reverb, chorus, and delay over here. There's modulation, but definitely, let's see, presets. It says it includes 19 meticulously crafted presets. So you have presets there, and there are 10 MIDI files added for creativity. I'm assuming the MIDI files are some programmed drum patterns. So definitely check that one out. The link is in the description, guys. It will take you to this blog page where you can check out the information here and click on the corresponding download links for each plugin. Check them out, add them to your arsenal, see how they work out for you. Also, there is a link in the description for a video series called PC Specs and how it relates to music production. So if you're looking to understand how your computer works with your DAW, the internal parts of your computer, how does that work to help you produce music, mix, master, record music smoothly without any issues, that series will give you some insight on how your CPU works, how the cores, how important the cores are, why they're important, and things like your RAM. How does the RAM factor in to performance when you are doing your music production, and the other components that are important, hard drive space, storage, and things like your MIDI interface, MIDI controller, audio interface. Alright, so definitely check that one out, guys. Link is in the description. Also, there is a link for a growing playlist for these videos that I do twice a week. If you're looking for more free plugins, definitely check those out. There's a lot of videos there. I think it's like over 330 now. So if you're looking for more free VST plugins, check out those videos and you'll find some more free plugins. 100% free, no purchase required. Just maybe you need to register with your email, but they're all free and pretty hassle-free to attain. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. Check back later this week. I think I'll be back Friday. Hopefully Friday. I know it's not going to be Thursday, but definitely Friday or Saturday, as we continue the month of October themed with free VST plugins, free saturation, and free creative effects. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and as always, you'll see me in the next video. I'm very tired.